Welcome to Strange Paths, a podcast where we read choose your own adventure style stories. We're your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Megan.
And we have a super special guest.
It's me.
The beautiful Robyn, who always writes to us. And you're the only one who listens, so I'm introducing you to yourself.
Yes.
I wanted to meet my idol, Bozo. She looks just as I imagined.
Uh-huh. Got a pocket full of teeth?
Yeah.
I forgot to bring my teeth. I had some for you. They're in my house.
God.
All right.
I get them.
Such a failure.
We've got some eggs roiling in the background for her polyps.
Yeah.
Well, today we will be venturing back in return to Atlantis
Atlantis.
Oh, no.
Return.
Poor Brax is here, too.
by R.A. Montgomery.
What?
Oh, our
Yeah.
boyfriend.
My other idol.
He's so beautiful.
So the city's so nice, he decided to write about it twice.
Oh, damn.
Will you keep saying Atlantis every time?
Please say Hotlantis.
We can return to Hotlantis.
Can we look at the cover and make fun of it?
Sure.
Or,
discuss.
talk about how beautiful. We got races for fish. I don't know. There's racing.
Okay, but you actually have to give like a
Is it?
general overview
Okay,
of
there's
what's
a
going
scuba
on.
man, and there's fish everywhere, and there's Hotlanta City stuff.
I spy a whale shark.
I spy pink ones. I don't know what fish are.
It looks like somebody's like having it put in an Instagram filter. There's like a little frame around it trying to get all the cool things in the picture, but they've done a terrible job.
Yeah, they didn't get
Like a random pink line around it.
It looks like shit.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do it.
Should we do the warning?
Yeah,
You have to do it,
or else I'm
to
going
read
to sue
everything.
you.
I wasn't warned.
Beware and warning. This book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences. You must use all of your numerous talents and much of your enormous intelligence. The wrong decision could end in disaster, even death. But don't despair at any time. You can go back and make another choice, alter the path of your story, and change its result. 3 years ago, you led a deep-sea expedition in search of the lost city of Atlantis.
I forgot.
You found it, but there's just one problem. Back above ground, no one really believed you. When your good friend Horton James III showed up at your office with funding and equipment, you jump at the chance to return to Atlantis. And this time, you are determined to bring back proof. There will be just one tiny problem. Getting proof of Atlantis may cost your life.
Uh-oh.
So how do we escape? Because last time we were in the zoo, or whenever we got to Hotlantis, they took us prisoner, kind of, and made us have gills and stuff.
Maybe that was like a memory they implanted into us. And then we just like washed up on shore.
Paul knows the answers.
Paul's been to Hotlantis, I think.
Well,
And back.
Wait a minute. How often do you go to Atlantis? You're not aware of this?
I'm not going.
What are you doing there? What are you doing in Atlantis, Paul?
I don't remember.
What happens in Hotlantis, Stacey?
I want to go back. I really want to go back, you say out loud, thinking that you're alone in your office at the National Undersea Lab.
Oh.
Go back where? Asks a voice. You spin around in your chair and see your research partner and closest friend standing in the doorway, smiling at
Very
you.
white.
You know where? Back to Atlantis. Where else?
No toy!
You reply. Come on in. Horton James III enters the office, which is jammed with books, equipment, shark's jaws, bottled squid, sea snakes, pieces of coral, and a large rusted anchor. Horton removes a pile of magazines from a chair and sits down.
I thought it was going to be maggots.
It's just like your house.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly like it.
So, the lure of the undersea world of Atlantis has got you again, has it? Once is not enough for our young hero.
Why?
You do know that everyone thought you were suffering from hallucinations caused by being underwater too long when you were in that African excursion 3 years ago, don't you? You start to protest, then shrug your shoulders. No one has ever believed that you were really in the lost city of Atlantis 3 years ago. After all, when you finally came back to the surface after being gone for several days, you carried no solid piece of evidence that you had found Atlantis and lived with the Atlanteans.
God.
People said you'd probably laid around in your undersea research craft, the Seeker, for those 3 days, delirious or hallucinating. Even the television reporters who interviewed you had winked at one another and listened to your story with barely concealed smiles.
That's really rude. They're there to support or to report the news.
For all they know, you could have been over there impregnating all the Atlanteans.
Right.
Our young hero.
They're jealous.
Bunch of sea monkeys down there now.
Oh, is that what happens? Cute.
Yeah.
It's pronounced minky.
Yeah.
Sea monkeys?
Atlantean scenes.
Oh, okay. Well, you can think whatever you want. Oh, wait. Well, you can think whatever you want, but I was there, you tell Horton. There's a real place called Atlantis. It still exists. It has existed for more than 3,000 years, and the Atlanteans are very much alive. What's more, they are quite a bit brighter and kinder than most people who are walking around above the sea. You're just
brighter and kinder and have more friends.
You're just jealous that you weren't with me. You look at Horton defiantly. Okay, he replies. Take it easy. Sure you were there. And if you have any real intention of going back, I'm going with you. Yes. You hesitate a moment, just long enough to make him wonder whether or not he's welcome to join you.
Mind games.
It got hard to get. I don't know if I want you to come, even though I'm in love with you.
I'm not so sure I can get you in, you say.
Oh my god, like it's a collab. Well, I guess it is Atlantis.
The entrance requirements are pretty strict down there. Not every visitor is allowed in, you know. We humans don't have a very good reputation. What do you mean by we humans? Aren't they human too? Horton asks. Most certainly not, you reply. The Atlanteans are from the planet Aegir. They left Aegir because it had fallen under the control of the alien elixir force called the Nodors.
Oh my god, this is all new. Like
Yeah.
he's telling us this like we knew
I
this.
have no memory of this.
You guys don't remember learning about this?
No,
All right.
you're lying.
The Atlanteans' time was up, and they knew it. Horton squirms a bit in his chair. You know that he's uncomfortable with concepts of alien forces or planets in other sectors of the galaxy.
But
I'm guessing Horton's an alien.
Oh yeah, I think so. He's a
Yeah,
hot land.
that's why.
What happened to the other best friend? Like, we started in the room with one best friend. Now Horton's back.
Oh, no, it's still just Horton.
Is he the one that heard that who?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's why he's so uncomfortable because he ruined his
James
life.
up there and hears the who.
They introduced him twice. I got confused.
Yeah, well, they introduced him at the little warning, and then he walked in the office, so yeah, it was a little weird.
Trying to keep up.
Really difficult. Just let it
Now
wash
you know
over
the trials and tribulations that we go through.
I get it.
He's a scientist and believes if you can't see it, touch it, and analyze it, then it doesn't exist. You've almost given up trying to educate him about coexisting worlds, fifth-dimensional time and space, and equal but different life forms.
Sounds lonely.
However, Horton is brave, loyal, and handy to have along in an emergency. Besides, if he returns to Atlantis with you, you'll have someone who can testify you've actually found the city. Okay, Horton, you say. You're on. But keep an open mind, will you? It's not going to be easy. The voyage will probably be dangerous, and raising the money to set up the expedition will be difficult. Horton flashes one of his famous smiles, leans back in his chair, opens his arm wide, and says, "A piece of cake."
Opens his arm wide.
Did I say arms wide? Oh,
He said
damn.
arm wide.
Oh, whatever. I'm leaving.
Oh, amazing. It's gonna go in one of my future stories.
Okay, genius. Tell me how we'll get the money and when we'll go, you reply. Like I said, a piece of cake. Are we doing like a bake sale?
Yeah, he's
He's
gonna get some
obsessed.
I've just gotten an international oceanographic grant to finance my study of whale and dolphin communication. You're kidding.
You
How
can't
much?
just use grants for whatever you want. Yeah, I'm not going to use it on them. I'm going to use it on Atlantis.
Once you
So
cash
happy.
the check, it's,
Yeah.
what are they going
What are
to
they
do?
going to do with it?
Horton uses the grants for cake.
Yeah. He's like, I mean, I guess I'll actually do some science with this one. They might be happy.
Enough to get us your old research vessel, the Murray, and the use of a new submarine called the Seeker 2. Good enough for you? Horton asks. Let's go! I've accumulated vacation days from the lab, and getting time off from classes for a research project is no problem, you reply.
Dork. We don't care about your
I
schedule.
feel like he shouldn't have to take days off for this. I mean, he's doing work, right? That's
Yeah,
rude.
but it's kind of like work that no one believes or wants to fund.
But if he does...
But if he does, yeah, but no one wants to fund it. 3 weeks later, you and Horton are aboard the Murray in the middle of the ocean. You order the crew to bring the ship to a halt and drop a sea anchor. The sea is an oily green, with just the hint of a swell, which rocks the ship gently. The Seeker 2, painted a bright yellow, sits in its wooden crib.
All right.
There's room enough inside the submarine for you and Horton, plus gear for exploration outside the Seeker 2. Here we go, you say, climbing into the Seeker 2. Horton joins you, and you lock the hatch. Faintly, you hear the whine and winches lifting the Seeker 2 from its crib, and then you feel the submarine plunge into the sea.
I feel like I'm there.
Yeah, I'm in there.
That was great imagery.
I feel like
Right?
the imagery is amazing. You feel like maybe he didn't expect Horton to go in after him, and it's locked now, and it's like too close. It's kind of heated in there. Is that one of the choices? Is it gonna get sexy or?
We haven't gotten to one yet.
It's already pretty sensual.
Yeah,
You got a crib.
I feel pretty hot.
She's
crib.
been aroused since we started.
I'm aroused.
It's very obvious.
She's rubbing her legs.
It's like a cricket.
There's no cable attaching the submersible to the Murray. You and Horton are on your own. The Seeker 2 glides down into an increasingly dark yet luminous world. It reminds you of dreams, some of them happy, some of them like nightmares.
Okay.
Lights on, you say in an upbeat tone as you hit the search and probe buttons.
Ugh.
Is that like,
Search and probe.
yeah.
Is that
so
a
like
choice?
hotspots on Horton?
Here's the search button.
The searchlights pick out fish, many of which dart away, startled by the light. You're looking at a world of gracefulness and beauty that hypnotizes and enchants you.
Just like some of them go away, and some are just angry. They just stand their ground, staring at you.
The Seeker 2 continues its descent. Then suddenly, about 100 yards in front of the submarine, you see an object so large it fills your entire range of vision. And it's breathing. At least it pulses in a way that indicates respiration.
It's Megan.
Yep.
Uh-oh, what's that? You whisper, afraid that if you speak too loudly, the thing will swallow the Seeker 2 in one massive gulp. Attached to the side of the creature is a small silver capsule. It radiates a yellowish glow, which seems to be blinking a signal to you. Below and to the starboard side of the Seeker 2 is a jumble of undersea rocks and some small hills. This looks like the terrain where you found the entrance to Atlantis 3 years ago. Horton grabs your arm. It's moving. Let's follow it, he says. This could be the biggest fish story of all time. You know that Horton's dying to investigate the beast, and it's his grant money that has made your trip possible. But something about this creature makes you wary. You have a feeling you'd better proceed with caution or avoid it altogether. If you decide to track the beast, turn to page 20. If you want to avoid the creature and descend into the territory where you believe the entrance to Atlantis to be, turn to page 24.
I think we should go to Atlantis.
Yeah, I'm itching to get to Atlantis now.
That's why we came here, and also I want to see if that horse is okay.
Also, Horton seems like an egomaniac. It's not even about him.
It's my grant money. What a brat! He gave it to me.
You need
got
to
two
crush him.
intros.
Crush him.
Slap him and say, "That's not over here."
Yeah, do that.
All right. That fish or whale or whatever it is too close for comfort, you say. Let's get out of here.
He's the worst.
It's too close to me.
Horton is fascinated by the beast and the murky water. He tries to convince you to stay a bit longer. We don't really know where Atlantis is, do we? Let's take our time. My instinct and my memory both tell me to dive into that deep crack in the ocean floor, you say confidently.
Ugh. Confidently. You sound so whiny. I want to, I think.
We'll get to Atlantis. After all, that's what we came for. There'll be plenty of time for hunting that fish later on. You focus all your attention on the array of dials and controls in the cramped cabin of the Seeker 2. Your depth of 3,000 feet is enough to make decisions critical, for the pressure is intense on the hull of your craft. Any flaw in its construction, any leak in the seals around viewing ports or access hatches could result in disaster. Within minutes, the cabin temperature begins to drop, and you and Horton pull on extra clothing. The ray from your external searchlight doesn't penetrate very far. 3,200 feet, 3,325 feet, 3,475 feet, holding steady. Echo response indicates depth to exceed 9,000 feet, you exclaim.
Over 9,000?
Wow.
Son of a nutcracker.
Man, big numbers.
Wow, he knows a lot of numbers.
Scientist.
Yeah, that's true.
This is one ocean trench I didn't know about, Horton says nervously.
I'm just making everything into an innuendo.
It's because you're aroused.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Is this how you found your way to Atlantis the first time? No, nothing like it. Maybe I'm... Before you can finish your sentence, things suddenly go haywire. The Seeker 2 lurches to port, then starboard. You're thrown onto the deck, bruising your arm and getting a nasty knock on your head. Horton, too, is tossed about. What is it? What's going on? He shouts. I don't know. The controls are useless, you answer. At that moment, everything stops. The Seeker 2 lies motionless for several minutes. Then it begins a long, slow descent. You watch the depth gauge, powerless to do anything. You're being dragged or sucked deeper into the ocean trench by an unknown force.
No.
For 43 minutes, the Seeker 2 is pulled deeper and deeper into the trench.
43 minutes.
Depth 8,600 feet, you report. Hey, it's getting lighter outside. Look, Horton says, peering through one of the viewing ports. Sure enough, an area directly below you is much lighter. You can see the shadow of the Seeker 2. Deeper yet, at 9,100 feet, you break into what looks like sunlight, yet you're still surrounded by water. The Seeker 2 shudders to a halt. A clear bubble encircles it. With
Are
a
you
whoosh.
in heaven?
Maybe. With a whoosh, the seawater is sucked out of the bubble, and the Seeker 2 bumps gently to the bubble's floor. Now what? Horton asks. A soft voice answers you. Welcome to Atlantis.
Gasp. What, they're welcoming us this time? Last
This
time we had to bust our way in.
this is a transit station. We are currently under attack by the Nodors.
No.
You wonder why the voice is giving you so much information, but you don't say anything and it continues. There is no immediate danger to Atlantis, but as a precaution, we are ferrying some of our people back to the home planet Aegir. I thought Aegir was hostile territory to Atlanteans. Isn't that why you left, you ask? Quite right, but things are better now in Aegir. Forgive me, there isn't much time for talk. We monitored you from the beginning of your undersea journey. Welcome back to Atlantis.
All right.
You look at Horton with surprise and amazement. They remember me! You exclaim. Big deal. It was only 3 years ago.
Oh my god,
He
he's such a
replies.
bitch.
They're like frenemies.
Once again, the soothing voice speaks. If you want to go to Aegir where it is safer, leave your vessel, and you will be transported to the evacuation station.
You're in water though, aren't you?
No, they sucked the water out.
So it would like sent out.
Yeah.
We got sucked out. You should remember that.
We got
fact.
sucked
Yeah,
out.
after diving deep into the trench.
Deep. So deep.
You'll be transported to the evacuation station. If not, stay where you are for the time being. If you decide to go to Aegir, turn to page 35. If you decide to stay in Atlantis, turn to page 18.
Atlantis.
Yeah, I mean I do like Atlantis, but what's up there?
Robyn, you
Wait,
agree?
what was
I
the
wanna
first
see about the
option?
horse.
So we could go to their planet, Aegir, or we could
Oh.
stay in Atlantis.
I don't want to go planet. We're on a mission here. The
Yeah,
kids
let's
got
go to Atlantis.
Let's go to Atlantis.
All right.
Horse friend.
As commanded by the voice, you and Horton stay put inside the Seeker 2. We can go to Aegir some other time,
Yeah.
Horton says while you're waiting in the Seeker 2. I haven't had a chance to explore Atlantis yet. Let's find out if it's changed while you've been gone. The Nodors are a dangerous group, you warn him. It's a shame they've brought warfare here. Moments later, you're approached by a group of Atlanteans. They lead you through an airlock into the world of Atlantis. Well, it looks the same as before, you whisper to Horton. The only difference seems to be that the Atlanteans aren't smiling. They seemed so happy before.
Aw, maybe it's the Gears of War coming down on them.
Yeah.
Warfare. It'll do it every
Oh
time,
my god.
replies Horton.
He's such a know-it-all.
Just like me.
One of the Atlanteans guiding you is a boy about your age. He introduces himself as Marpex. I am a transplant from a gear, he tells you. I have been here about 6 months. Atlantis is a training station for me. I am a scientist just like the two of you. That is why I was assigned to be your guide and contact.
Got it. Science.
Is he flirting with us?
Flirted with.
What kind of scientist, you ask? Life form research, humanoid, plant life, aquatic creatures. What are you concentrating on down here in Atlantis?
What's your major?
Horton asks. Mostly whale and dolphin research. They have great brain capacity. Most interesting. We are about to make a major breakthrough in communications with these species. How? You and Horton ask. We have analyzed their brainwave patterns, traced their sound waves from source to reception, and developed communicator/interpreter devices. Marpex displays a small metallic object that he wears on a chain around his neck. It is simple, really. Your Earth technology is behind ours in this area, primarily because of your budgets for research are mostly for weapons. Communications is the answer, not weapons.
What a shame.
So they're not going to force us to get gills like last time?
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Anything goes in Atlantis.
Easy for you to say, but look at you and the no-doors you pointed out. Why don't you communicate with them?
such a brat.
No one is perfect, Marpex replies. Well, let's try to communicate, you say. If you wish, I was planning to show you some rather interesting whale and dolphin research, but we can observe a group of no-doors who are approaching us with a peace proposal instead. It's your choice. Marpex waits for your response. If you decide to go to the whale and dolphin research area, turn to page 87. If you decide to go to the peace talks, turn to page 63.
Peace talk sounds boring.
Yeah, it really
Marpex has been
does.
very hospitable to us.
Wait,
Yeah.
peace talk sounds boring. Whale and dolphin research? Ooh.
Yeah.
We
Super
never heard of
exciting.
those creatures.
Plus he's like, I mean, I was going to show you this really cool stuff, but if we can do your thing.
Right.
Okay.
He's our guide.
We'll go to the whale and dolphin research area.
I don't
to be
want to talk
polite.
about peace talks. It's like
All
one of
loves
those-
peace talks.
As Marpex guides you and Horton to the research area, he talks about the progress the Hotlandians have made in communicating with whales and dolphins. We have made contact with a group of humpback whales as well, Marpex says. They are quite wary of us. I think they feel that we are trying to lure them into a kill zone. Their experience with humanoid life forms has not been good, as you know, he adds. Tell them that you don't want to hurt them, you suggest.
No, duh.
Tail him!
Oh, we have, he replies. They want us to show good faith by offering a hostage. Any volunteers?
That's not a good faith showing.
If you
captive.
if you volunteer to be a hostage, turn to
Yeah.
page 96.
Yeah, of course we want to be hostage.
If you decide not to be a hostage, turn to page.
Only if we can be
Hostage.
hogtied as well.
Does Horton get to hog tie us?
Horton, yeah, I mean, you know, he's
Right.
a practice.
Usually does.
I think we're doing this to get away from Horton. He's been a little bit extra
he's
at
gonna
this
get
trip.
jelly. He's gonna be so nice to us when we get back on the show.
So you guys do want to be a hostage?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Come on, Paul.
Me! You answer like a grin. The whales are probably smart enough to know that hurting me won't get them anywhere. What do I do? You go with me and meet one of the whales outside the southeast entrance port to Atlantis. He will take you with him to a group of whales that will hold you hostage until our talks are over.
It's really weird because why would whales? I thought we were talking about the attacking people, and now that I know that we're talking about whales, what are they gonna do to us?
They're gonna swallow us up like Noah.
Big fish story.
Like Pinocchio.
Like Pinocchio. That one too.
It's the same thing, I think.
Or it was
know.
Jonah, not Noah.
Yeah, Jonah.
You guys are good at Bible stuff.
I don't know anything that wasn't in Jesus Christ Superstar.
How will I breathe? You ask. Marpex smiles and walks over to a cabinet. You're surprised when he returns and hands you a small device, much like a pair of stereo headphones. Use these, he says. They are artificial gills. They will enable you to survive at extreme depths. He then picks up a laser scalpel.
Oh.
But first, with no pain to you, Marpex makes 2 small slits in your neck
Dude!
Oh.
and plugs in
He's
the
giving us gills.
Oh, it happened.
Marpex makes 2 small slits in your neck and plugs in the artificial gills. Now you are all set for one of the most amazing journeys of your life.
That's horrifying. Why did he do that? Why did you let him do that?
You guys did.
Atlantis.
We just lay there rigid. Just hope for the best.
Do it. Do it to me.
me.
Cut me. You have some trouble adjusting to the artificial gills, but finally they feel fairly comfortable, and you leave with Marpex through the southeast port. Horton, much to his disappointment, remains in Atlantis to monitor your actions on a three-dimensional TV by picking up signals from both you and Marpex. The signals originate from broadcast devices in the artificial gill pieces. You rise several thousand feet to the zone in which the whales can function. Where is he? You want to know. Who? Marpex replies. The whale!
I'm going to assume that the whale's going to be a dude. That's rude.
I don't know if I can do a good girl voice, though.
Yes, you can. You can do the most beautiful, angelic girl voice.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Do it. Yeah. No, it's not appropriate.
He's blushing. He's very nervous.
I'm right here.
You gotta do the, chest touching southern lady.
Here. I'm right here, says a voice. Startled, you look over your shoulder and see an immense shadow, the outline of a humpback whale. A whale has spoken, and you, the first human to ever do so, understood him.
It's a whale, so they use different words for
Is
a
this
girl.
the one? The whale asks. Yes, he's your hostage, Marpex replies. Good. Take hold of this. It's an old whaler's harpoon line. I'll swim, and you hold on tight. Wait a minute. When do I get to go back? You ask, still slightly amazed that you're communicating with the whale. When we're satisfied that the Atlanteans don't intend to harm us, replies the whale. With that, she gives you an enormous push with her tail, and you're suddenly pulled through the water at astonishing speed.
Wow.
Going for a ride.
I will ride.
Less than 30 minutes later, you arrive at the algae-covered hull of a sunken ocean liner. Its outlines are mysterious and foreboding in the shadowy depths. You'll stay here for now, the whale says, propelling you towards the ship with a flip of her large tail. For the next 2 days, you remain isolated in the old first-class lounge of the sunken ship. You wait and wait, hoping that things will go well between the whales and the Atlanteans. Your guards, young whales and dolphins, are friendly. The whales teach you the meaning of some of their songs, and the dolphins tell you stories of their encounters with other earthlings. But time hangs heavy, and fear permeates your thoughts. Then, without warning, you're summoned from your ghostly prison and returned to Marpex and Atlantis.
What? That was boring.
Yeah, what's he afraid of?
I wanted to be
what are we
a
afraid of?
hostage forever.
Yeah.
They didn't even mistreat us. Unless all the stories and songs were they were lying about the meaning and it's about being murderers and raping people.
They want to believe that we mean no harm, Marpex informs you, but you humans have hurt them too often. It will take time. They are lovely, intelligent creatures, but they do not really trust us. So what's your next step? You ask. Patient and positive action to show them that we are what we say we are. We might also help them avoid Earthlings' whaling ships. That is under discussion right now. Thanks for being the hostage. Now that you're safely back in Atlantis, you recall fondly the friendliness of the young whales and the sweetness of the young dolphin voices.
Sweetness.
It was my pleasure, you reply. It really was.
I want to be a hostage every day.
The end.
Oh, I didn't like that ending.
Well, do you guys want to go back and try something else?
I want it to get sinister and weird. This one is just cotton candy.
Yeah, it's very sickly.
Well, you guys could try going to the peace talks.
Ugh. You and your peace talks. Fine.
Well, was there another choice?
We could go back and check out that fish, that big fish
Yeah.
that
Or
Horton was
Not
obsessed
be a
with.
hostage.
Or we
not
could
be
go
a
to the
hostage.
planet.
Yeah.
I like Atlantis.
Do you want to check out the horrible fish? What did we say?
So you could check out the giant fish. You could not be a hostage. You could go to the planet, or you could go to the peace talks.
Well, if we weren't the hostage, maybe we could do a better job at talking.
Let's try that.
You can read about the peace talks later, Paul.
Yeah, on your own time.
No volunteering for me. It's too risky.
Nobody asked you.
You say to Marpex, I'm staying here. I do not blame you, he replies. How about you, Horton? I'll go. It's an opportunity not to be missed. Horton puts on some artificial gill equipment that will allow him to breathe underwater and soon departs with Marpex.
He puts it on. He gets gashed, like his throat is slit.
Doesn't he get any slits in his neck?
At the same time, 2 hot Atlantean technicians strip down and join you to help.
Oh, hell yes.
2 hot Atlantean technicians join you and help monitor Horton's progress and Marpex's talks with the whales. You settle down to monitor events. Shortly, a feeling of regret overcomes you. You may have lost out on a fascinating opportunity to stay in a sunken ship and not do anything for 2 days.
Yeah, just be told horrifying stories.
As you become friendly with the hot Atlantean technicians, they reveal to you that they know a secret that was uncovered by the hot Atlanteans centuries ago. The secret, they say, involves the future of all life forms on planet Earth. What is it? You eagerly ask.
Oh, I gotta
You
know.
can't just ask. It's none of your business.
We know a secret.
What are you saying?
I just
Show,
wanted
don't
to tell
tell.
you that we have a secret that you can't know.
It's about your family and everything. From
The secret is that Earth is a chosen planet, one Atlantean tells you. A planet for experiments by the Universe Committee.
Oh, God.
Life forms are given more chances on Earth than in any other place in the universe, but the Universe Committee is worried. Their life form experiments are not going well. The committee is thinking of ending the experiment soon.
Oh, my God.
End it. Shut it down.
We,
plug.
hot Atlanteans, are preparing to head back to Aegir. How much time do we have? You ask. It depends on events on Earth, but the word around Aegir is a year or 2 at most.
Oh, wow.
What about us? You ask. Come with us if you wish, but if you do, there can be no turning back.
Yeah, we heard that before.
You can't answer for Horton, but Hot Atlantis and Aegir have just become your chosen worlds. The end.
We didn't get to
What?
choose.
What? We just left Horton with the whales or whatever?
What about the peace talks?
Oh, now we're interested in the peace.
With the whales, not with the other weirdos. Why are
Of
they
the
fighting?
Nodors?
Yeah, why are they fighting over doomed planet?
I don't know. If only there was some venue in which we could find out their grievances.
You're supposed to be impartial.
I am.
No, it's not. Over there chomping at the bit. We want to go to the peace talks.
Do we have to read about the?
We don't have to go to the peace talks if you guys don't want to.
I mean, are there going to be refreshments at the peace talks? Do you know?
Doubt
Is there any
it.
word
Oh, what kind of
on that?
refreshments are there going to be?
You know, Hot Atlantean chilies.
peas?
Chilies. You mean like jalapeno peppers? Just chilies, or like chili like with beans and stuff?
Like peppers.
Like peppers.
Just pepper?
I thought it was going to be peas and piss at the peace talks.
Yeah, it has to.
Some peas.
Yeah.
Gross.
Peas, piss, and penis.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
Maybe that'll
whatever
calm
you need.
Stephanie
I
down.
don't know.
So what do you guys want to do? You want to try another
Man,
one?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's knock it off the list. Let's pop by, see what they got to eat.
Yeah.
All right. I'm interested in the Nodors, you tell Marpex. My last experience with them was not good, but there's always hope for change. Let me go to the peace talks as an observer. Fine. I could use an objective opinion. We keep having these peace meetings, but they always break down just when we think we are getting somewhere. The trip to the neutral zone where the meetings are to be held doesn't take long. You're ushered into a building that resembles a Greek temple. A messenger rushes up to Marpex and tells him that he's needed in the control room to consult on communication problems. Horton decides to accompany him. You're on your own. Tall, fluted columns surround an inner courtyard. The roof of the building is missing, destroyed decades earlier in one of the Nodor attacks. The courtyard is crowded with hot Atlanteans and Nodors. In the center of the courtyard, around a table made of something that looks like white gold, sit the leaders of both sides. They wear blue robes. You overhear a hot Atlantean explaining that the color symbolizes coming together for negotiation. Among the leaders, you can't tell a Nodor from a hot Atlantean.
Well, that's kind of rude of you to say. They all look the same.
They all look the same.
Why are you guys fighting? You're the same.
You can tell the difference.
As you move through the crowd, you overhear another snatch of conversation, spoken by a man leaning furtively towards a woman. Both are
Furtively? Like, what does that mean?
both are dressed in Hotlandian clothes. They will never suspect. We can get them all, but we must act quickly. There's an undercover agent who will create a distraction, and at that time, You must detonate.
Oh my god, she's gonna explode?
You don't hear the rest of the plan because someone shouts in the courtyard. The two people you overheard are moving towards the rear of the hall.
Tackle him.
If you follow them, turn to page 80. If you try to warn those around you, turn to page 108.
Yeah, just start screaming. What do you think?
Yeah, have a fit. Sound the
You're not paying
alarm.
attention?
I'm sorry.
Email.
Do you want to start screaming in a crowd, or do you want to follow
I
somebody?
want to scream.
Yeah, we're gonna scream.
Okay.
Scream.
Yeah, we don't know where our way around. We're not just follow someone into the depths.
Stop those two! You say to the Atlanteans and no doors nearest you. I think they're going to set off a bomb! No one believes you. You're quickly removed from the building and taken into protective custody by the Atlantean security forces, who think you're crazy.
Didn't go well.
Moments later, there's a gigantic flash of white light as a miniaturized neutron weapon explodes, disintegrating everything within 2 miles. Seeing the bright light is the last thing you remember in your humanoid form. Your surface research ship, the Murray, records a minor earthquake on its monitoring devices. Gaseous bubbles rise to the surface.
Ew.
The end.
That's messed up.
At least we're put out of our misery.
Yeah, I don't have to talk anymore.
And no more worries about, trips to Atlantis.
Yeah, this whole rivalry with Horton. Ugh. Glad we're dead.
Yeah. I'm happy I'm dead.
I'm just saying, I don't know of a second return to Atlantis, so this might be the canon ending.
Oh. Okay.
Where we just...
Yeah, I think we should be dead. I'm good here.
I'm
Well,
an
yeah.
angel now.
Aw.
Yeah, my humanoid form. Oh,
God.
Well, I'm glad we got to return.
yeah. I mean, that was the first one we ever put out.
Aw,
So it's good times.
Yeah.
We were going to save it, but then we didn't.
I fell in love with that whale.
You did?
Yeah?
Yeah.
We don't even know her name.
Mirtha?
That's not a good choice.
Manana.
Oh, Manana.
Oh.
That's like a banana with mono. So sexy. Amazing.
Yeah. Just the best.
I mean,
Perfection.
I don't know. I feel I'm annoyed because, like, in this version, it seems like they were talking about choices that we didn't get to when we read the first Atlantis book, whatever it's called. And
Right.
and they're like going into this whole like planet stuff, but all we got was trapped with a horse forever in a zoo,
Right.
or we got to explore because we had gills now.
Right, but I think that most authors of these expect us to actually read all the different paths.
Why? Because then we wouldn't be choosing our adventure. We would be reading cover to cover a choose your own adventure book.
True.
That's the way some people choose. Just cover to cover.
Yeah. I won't be told how.
You're like, this doesn't make any sense.
Or they're like, it's incredibly deep.
Yeah.
Doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah.
Expects you to remember tiny details.
No.
Maybe you should read it that way next time. Out
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
Let's do it now.
No. Let's not do that now.
God.
And thank you for joining us, Rob.
Yes!
Oh,
We're so happy!
thank you for having me.
Best day of my life.
No,
Yeah.
best day of my life.
Wait, what about my life? Ever heard of it?
No.
So if you would like to email us
But what are they going to email us about Atlanta?
questions about Atlantis,
We don't know.
how much like Vegas do they think it would be? Or Atlanta?
What do
Yeah.
they look like, the Atlanteans?
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes. Send
Are
us
they
some.
blue? Are they nude? Do they look the same as the Nordorks
Yeah, send
or
us some
whatever?
lewds of what you think
Yeah,
Atlanteans
to
look
tweet
like.
them at us. But you gotta email it. What is it? Strange Past Podcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
And then you can tweet them at us
At
at Strange Past Pod on Twitter.
Or you can email me all your questions and pictures of blowholes or whatever you want to bozosglowglobes at gmail.com.
You can send Robyn stuff, I guess, if you want to.
Nope.
I want to see those blowholes.
Send
Unsubscribe.
your blows. Only whale ones, but not people ones, because that's...
No, I'll accept it. He's got a blowholes.
Well, only send the whale ones to the Strange Paths Gmail.
No, I want all the blowhole pics.
I don't want people blowholes. I'm saying. I want...
I know.
Just some crude drawings of blowholes and of Atlanteans.
Send us your drawings.
just Photoshop the whale blowholes over people blowhole parts. He's definitely fine with it.
That's acceptable, yeah.
Yeah, that'll get her
right.
going good.
We did it.
All right, well, thanks for listening.
Bye.